Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I just done a video about Kail Lowry and Javi, and this video is going to be about Kail as well, Javi a little bit too. And I thought about just throwing everything in there together, but I decided nope, I don't want that video to be too long, and I want this video to be all about this one topic. So Kail Lowry, as you guys know, when COVID first came about, she was traveling and she got a lot of backlash for that. She quit traveling for a while, but when they lifted traveling restrictions, she started traveling again. Now, I never thought that it was the smartest thing to do to start traveling just because they've lifted the bans on it, because you still have people out there, you know, walking around with COVID that are not even aware that they have it. Now, Kail and her children, they are tested regularly, especially when they're filming Teen Mom 2. Teen Mom 2? Yeah. When they're filming Teen Mom, they do get tested, right? So she took this chance and she traveled. She went to the Dominican Republic. I always want to call it the Dominican Republican. I don't know why. So if you hear me say that, I don't know. Anyway, so she traveled. She went on vacation. Not only did she go to the Dominican Republic, but she also went to, like, I don't know, somewhere with a few of her friends not too long ago. And that was the vacation that she actually invited Javi to go along with her. He asked if he could go. She was like, yeah, sure. And then Lauren threw a big fit over it. So she's been doing a good bit of traveling, which that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it because you're allowed to do it now. However, it looks like she's paying the price for it now because she contracted COVID. Right after she came back from her vacation from the DR, she was on a podcast with her co-host, V, and they both announced that they both have COVID. And they believe that Kail may be the one that brought it back and infected V. Kail even apologized to V for it. She said that she was likely the one that infected V, that she realizes that. So she did apologize. Now, like I stated earlier, Kail has to be tested frequently. She said she was tested frequently as she was traveling. She said on Thursday, she had 2 negative tests. And then again, when she got home on Monday, she had another negative test. On Monday, she was required to test in order to film for the show. She said that she tested positive that Thursday. So by that Thursday, she had already interacted with several people. So she had interacted with V. V got it. She had obviously interacted with Javi. Javi got it. There was her friend too. What's her friend's name? Oh, her friend Tony. So her friend Tony came over to visit right after Kail returned from her trip, and she recently announced that she too has COVID. Now, when talking about how Kail figured it out, she said that she knew because she started feeling like crap all week. And she said once she lost her taste and her sense of smell, that she knew that that's what it was. And she said that she would not have been around people had she known that she was positive. But as soon as she started realizing that she was, that's when she cut it off. She got tested again, and she realized that she was in fact positive for COVID-19. She said, but I did have 2 negative tests. She later admitted on the podcast that this is her and her son Lincoln's second bout with COVID-19. She said, this is the second time. I don't know if I've ever said it on the podcast, but I had COVID back when I was in Iceland. That was in 2020, so this is my second time. And then she said that Lincoln just had COVID in March, and now he has it again. So she said all the kids have it. That is terrible. She said they're all asymptomatic, really. In addition to Kail, like I said earlier, Javi has it. He's tested positive. When talking about that, she said, I sent Lincoln over to Javi's because they all had it in March. Everyone in Javi's family had it in March except for Javi. So I sent Lincoln over there this time because Lincoln had already had it and he had tested negative right away. And then as soon as she sends him over there, he comes down with COVID and he tests positive. And then Javi tests positive. So she said, I'm like, I don't even know how this happened. Girl, I know how it happened. All that traveling, that's how it happened. Now, V revealed that she had recorded a podcast episode with Kail before Kail learned that she was positive. And when V began to feel sick later that week, she initially thought that she had picked up like a summer cold, or maybe she was just exhausted because they had been visiting a water park earlier that day. Now, Kail and V did say that anyone that works in front of the cameras or behind the cameras for MTV, they are tested regularly by MTV. But they did say that Joe picked up some take-home tests from the drugstore, which is how V learned that she had contracted the virus. Joe was tested negative for the time being, as well as he and V's daughter, Vivi. Kail said because of the virus, she had to postpone Lux and Creed's birthday party by a month, while V said that she had to skip a wedding for a family member. She did say, when talking about how she's going to have to miss events like this family member's wedding, she said, like, I just don't want to pass it to anybody. I don't want to be that person. That person that Kail was when she traveled and then brought it back to everyone. V said, nope, she's not going to do anything because she does not want to be that person. So V did speak about the trip that she and Joe are planning to take. Now, this is all for like a couple of months, so she should be good by that time. But she said that's to celebrate her 30th birthday party. That is awesome. When bringing that up, though, she did, her and Kail were talking about traveling. Kail offered up some traveling tips. And Kail also talked about how they test when you're visiting like resorts and such. Kail says that it's her belief that they barely swab your nose and they do it on purpose. So when talking about this on the podcast, she said, I don't want to get any crap for saying this, but they barely swab your nose. And I think they do that with the intention for you to have a negative test, in my opinion. She said, at least from that experience, because when I get tested through MTV, they're swabbing your nose, you know? The resort that I went to in Punta Cana, they barely even touched the skin in my nose. So I feel like that was intentional. And that very well could be, because I think they have to like go way up in there and they have to like move it around. If they don't get enough of whatever they need, I definitely think it probably could affect the test. If I have any nurses that are watching, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, along with Kail, her kids, V and Javi, Kail's Teen Mom 2 co-star, Ashley Jones, also is recovering from the virus at the moment as well. So Ashley's mom, T, took to her Instagram account earlier this week asking fans to please pray for a speedy recovery as Ashley recovers from COVID-19. So T said, we're all sending our prayers to Ashley's household as she battles COVID-19. She is doing okay in light of, but we expect a full recovery in no time. Thanks for your much needed prayers and support. We appreciate it sincerely and truly. So yeah, you guys, that's an update on Kail Lowry getting COVID-19 and then seemingly spreading it to several people. Her kids, V, Javi. Thankfully, Joe and their daughter has not gotten it. Thankfully, Javi's son, Eli, has not gotten it. Ashley from Teen Mom, she's now on Teen Mom 2. She's gotten it as well. So, yeah, we got to keep them in our thoughts and prayers, you guys. But, yeah, while there's not bans on traveling, I would still, I don't know, you just got to be very careful because you never know who's out there walking around with COVID and they're just not having any symptoms, right? You guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. I don't know what to say about this. Just let me your thoughts. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.